Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. If you can hear me loud and clear, just type 1. It's 7 p.m. Nigeria. Uh, Good evening. If you can hear me loud and clear, just type 1. Okay. Okay, Mr. Ibrahim Alazan, you can hear me. Awesome. Awesome. Good one. Okay, let me see whether others can hear me. Awesome. 3 people can hear me. 4. Let me get up to 5, 1. I'll be sure that everybody can hear me. Okay, so you're welcome to the real estate conversation tonight. Welcome and welcome and welcome. So if you can hear me loud and clear, just type 1. Okay, thank you very much. So we have officially 5 people that has indicated that they can hear me. Awesome, that's good. So welcome, 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 welcome. I want to especially welcome everybody to the real estate conversation. And tonight is going to be an interesting one um, also. So in case you have any question, let me quickly put the ground rule out there. So in case you have any question, all you just need to do is to go to the chat room and drop your questions, okay? We're going to be using the chat room as the avenue to take questions. So no questions, nobody will be unmuted to take questions. So please, as you're joining, make sure you mute your mic, okay? So let's know where you are joining us from. I'm joining us from Bagada in Lagos. So let's know where you are joining us from. We want to know where you are joining us from. Alazan Ibrahim, where are you joining us from? Adeboye Daniel, where are you joining us from? So let's just do that in the chat room quickly. We want to know you, we want to know our audience. Where are you joining us from? Very, very important. Okay, Olanrewaju Yunusa from Lagos. Awesome, awesome. Okay, let's get more response. Let's get more response. So while we are doing that, in case you have anybody you are expecting to join this meeting, in case you have anybody that you know should be in this meeting and this meeting is going to be of great benefit to them, okay, please let's go and serve them a reminder. Let them know that we are live, okay? Let them know that we are live. So let's know where you're joining us from. Samuel Lawuyi, where are you joining us from? Okpe, I think there's an Okpe here. Let me just leave this on. Where are you joining us from? Oh, from Yaba, awesome. Okay, Oluwayemisi Ita, where are you joining us from tonight? Let's know where you are joining us from. Okay, so while we are doing that, I just want to also let us know what the purpose, especially for those that are getting to know Lifepage for the very, very first time. Okay, so Lifepage is a real estate development company, and we are in the business of making lives richer. So if you are meeting us for the very, very first time, whether you are a thousandaire, if there's anything like that, or you're a millionaire, or you're a billionaire, okay, our goal and objective is to make sure that your life become richer, become better, become richer. That is the ultimate goal, and that is the ultimate objective for us. That the state that will make you, that your life becomes better and richer. And that's what we've been doing. By 2nd of May, 2nd of May is, I think, 35 days or 36 days from now, we are going to be 14 years. So we've been in the business of making lives richer consistently for 13 years, 11 months. Okay. So that's what we've been doing. And this platform, we put this together some couple of years ago, and so that anybody that wants to do business with us will be able to ask all the questions, right? It's a platform we believe that when people know better, they will be able to take a better decision, right? When people know better, they take a better decision. So when you are taking a decision, you are taking it from the position of strength. And what's that position of strength? From the position of knowledge. Okay, so for everybody on this platform right now, I believe you were invited by somebody, or you are an existing partner, or you are existing customer, or you are invited by our existing customer or partner. Okay, and tonight uh, um, we are, of course, talking about our Palmvile. So we currently have a private placement. Basically, what our private placement means is that we are giving early access to an opportunity before we take it to the public. Okay, that is what our private placement basically maize, okay? We are giving early access to the Palmvile project before we take it to the public. And a lot of people are taking advantage of this, both within Nigeria and outside Nigeria. People are taking advantage of it. But I want to quickly, our CEO is here, Dr. Oladipupo Clement is going to be taking over shortly, but I just want to quickly do a breakdown because a lot of people have been asking why Palmvile, why palm oil, why palm plantation? Because Palmville is actually a palm plantation. So, okay, it's an agro real estate. What you are doing is that you are buying a piece of land, okay, and that land, when it comes to investment, let me pause here before I just run through. When it comes to investment, your investment is supposed to be doing either of these two. Number one, your investment is supposed to be giving you capital gain, right? That is to say, the value of your investment is supposed to be growing. You buy a piece of land, the value keeps increasing. You buy a piece of house, the value keeps increasing, okay? Or probably you invest in a particular maybe stock portfolio and all of those things. The share goes up, goes down, and all of those things, okay? And the asset, the investment also is supposed to be giving you cash flow. So most of the time, is doing either of the two or is doing both. So the beautiful thing about this opportunity is that there are a lot of people that have bought land from, we've been in business, active operational business, right, for almost 14 years, just like I mentioned earlier. So there are people that have bought land from us 13 years ago. In fact, this Tuesday, somebody was still in our office that bought a piece of property from us 13 years ago. Yes, 13 years ago, 2013 to be precise, okay? And when he bought that piece of property, he moved into that piece of property 7 years ago, and they'll be living in that house. They started building 8 years ago. They finished building within 1 year, and they moved into their property 7 years ago. So, whatever we are talking about is something we've been doing for long. So there are evidences, there are proof. Okay, we are not audio real estate company. If you are even audio, we won't even show our face. Okay, but that's not where I'm actually going. But there are people that have bought land from us too that, for the purpose of land banking, they were not planning to develop. It's for posterity, legacy, and all of that for them, which is equally fine. It's one of the reasons why we go into land banking. It's one of the reasons why we even tell people to go into land banking, okay? We've been doing this for a very, very, very long time. So this is just an extra layer. So we are not just telling you to come and buy a piece of land. We're also telling you that while you have bought this piece of land can also be generating cash flow for you. So that's why we call it is an agro real estate platform. It's actually it's a system of wealth creation. And by the time OC begins to explain the more breakdown of what it entails, you'll be able to understand it. But why palm plantation? There are so many other cash crops that could have built on this piece of land, okay? But we decided to pick palm. For instance, now cocoa is brilliant. A lot of people too are doing cocoa, brilliant, okay? But the ruggedity of palm tree is much more than cocoa, okay? We all know that. For those just go with the risk factor of cocoa. You understand what I'm talking about. Pests, stealing, and a whole lot of stuff like that are things that, why not cashew, right? Somebody asked me, in fact, today somebody was still asking me why not cashew, because the person is heavily involved in cashew and all of that. I said, oh, cashew too is good, but it has its one or two other disadvantages, stealing, and in fact, while we're having conversation, I mentioned to the person that, do you know that the fire incident can happen and all of those things, and the whole of your cashew can just die and not revive again. He said that's true, that he has an 80-acre of cashew somewhere and 16 acres caught fire. He had to, after waiting for almost 4 years to start fruiting, on the 5th year, 16 acres caught fire. He had to, the whole thing has to come down. He couldn't revive it. He had to start the journey all over again. These are the advantages that things like palm oil plantation has. In fact, somebody has asked us too before, why not coconut since it's palm? I said, no. You see, global relevance of this product is very, very important, okay? And that's where I'm going to be rounding up. You see, it's not just about palm and palm oil. No, the palm oil that we consume, yes, we consume palm oil. In fact, if I ask everybody here to list all the food that they have eaten today. Okay, in Nigeria, this is 7:10 p.m. Most likely in some part of the US is noon or afternoon or early in the morning, right? If I ask everybody, so most likely almost everybody on this call, or probably are in Europe, it's 6 p.m. in some part of Europe and 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. in some part, okay? Almost everybody on this call has eaten. And even if you are in Asia, probably you are even close to bedtime or you are probably in the middle of the night. And if I ask you what are the food that you have eaten, a measure of that food contains palm oil. Anybody here that has ever, if you have eaten noodles today, a large portion of your noodles is actually made from palm oil. And how do I know that? Like somebody reached out to us also that a big noodle company in this country use palm oil heavily and they have their own plantation and they could not even meet up. Now we are currently having conversations with them. So I'm giving you all of these examples. So beyond food, beyond food, palm oil, in fact, somebody said palm oil is the foundation of every food in Nigeria. And I mean, I couldn't agree less, right? Any soup you want to cook, a lot of things. In fact, some of us, there's a culture where there's a particular type of swallow that you have to put palm oil before you turn the whole thing, before the whole thing gel together, right? So that the thing can be more solid. Right? If you are still with me, just type 5. I can see that the numbers are increased. I just want to be sure that you are still with me. Okay, I'm only seeing some couple of videos on. So if you are still with me, oh, fantastic. So people can still hear me. Okay, so these are interesting things about palm oil. And you see, it's not just about food, right? So in case maybe there is a word or a time or a technology that will not say that people will not eat food again, which will not happen. But there's the industrial demand too is just phenomenal, phenomenal. If you have ever, most of the cream you use, whether it's from Oreo or the most expensive cream, there's an element of palm oil in it. Most of the pancake we use, there's an element of palm oil in it. Most of the lipsticks we use, in fact, most of our lipsticks, right? Let me shock you. So maybe some people will just stop using lipstick now, they'll just be putting palm oil in their lips. Almost 50% of the ingredient there is palm oil. So the industrial use is enormous. In fact, one of the beautiful things about palm oil is this. Currently now, palm oil is more expensive than crude oil. Even though crude oil now, the price keep increasing. We still did the comparative analysis of what a barrel of palm oil and a barrel of crude oil is. We did that, okay, it was yesterday in the office. We're just putting some document together and we did that. It's still more expensive, right? And there is a new demand. Let me just round up with this. OC is about to take over. There's a new demand when it comes to the space of palm oil, and it's what is called biofuel. You know, there have always been, look at what is happening right now. 28 days ago, about a month now, by tomorrow is Saturday, Iran, Donald Trump just woke up on the wrong side of the bed and started throwing bombs. Him and Israel, they started throwing bombs at Iran and all of those things, and look at the price of petrol. So a lot of people have been clamoring for alternative to fuel, right? So there's something called the biofuel. And from the research I've done, palm oil, right? In fact, specifically African palm oil have been the one that has given them the best in terms of quality to help in producing biofuel. So the demand is enormous, right? And see, currently, right now, you know, in Nigeria, we don't really have data. It's unfortunate, but according to NIFOM, over 2 million deficit currently in Nigeria now, over 2 million metric tons of palm oil is needed, both at the consuming food level and at the industrial level. That is to tell the demand. And for us to meet up with that demand, man, we need we need thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hectares of palm that we need. And you know, the demand is on the increase. For goodness sake, in Nigeria, we're over 200 million. No matter how poor we are, at least in Nigeria goes to bed eating one food. And 90% of our food is palm oil based. I just want us to digest that while I hand over to Rosie tonight.
Thank you very much, Mr. Akwe. A lot about palm oil,
your volume,
palm tree. Oh, you can hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, please type 10. If you can hear me loud and clear, type 10.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much. All right. So I'm so excited about what Mr. Okpe has shared. Essentially, any product, any business, any market you want to play where the demand outweighs supply is a growing market and an evergreen market. And any market where the supply outweighs the demand is a declining market. So it's no brainer that when you are thinking of where to consider directing your resources, you focus on the market where it's a growing market, evergreen market. And the palm, and this is why we are really so excited about the unique opportunity. And there's no other person or other group of people that we thought we should first extend it to other than our existing customers and partners. And so you are on this call primarily because of that reason. You're on this call because you are either an existing customer or existing partner, or either of these two categories of people extended that opportunity to you. And so it's such a delight that we have an opportunity of a lifetime to build build wealth and make money together. Let me just run through the slides. The slides are available. We'll make that available to you. Just make a request by sending, I need the slides to, just send a request for the slide by sending similar message, just the same message to 09060005737, 09060005747, with some of the numbers that we have seen, with the numbers that we have seen in terms of the projections, the oil palm plantation, if care is not taken. In fact, not that if care is not taken, right? Once we get the foundation right, the first few years, and it begins to fruit, this is one type of a business or one type of a project that you can live and it will still keep producing for up to 70 years. Now, that is the historical record. That's what historical record shows. We have just made really very conservative projections by saying up to 40 years. Now, anything you do once and then continues to produce for you for that long with least effort, just no brainer that you begin to give that attention. So why did we focus on oil palm plantation? Okpe has already shared quite a lot already, but one fundamental fact, to just summarize that, is the fact that it has not just domestic appeal, it has commercial and then industrial appeal. The oil palm plantation does not only satisfy the fact that it is a cash crop, it's also an industrial crop. And you already heard the dimensions and the impact and the value it brings even when it comes to biofuel. All over the world, nations around the world are already looking for alternative to crude oil. Solar power is one of them, but biofuel clearly will be coming from plant, and oil palm will be leading that chart. And so let me just share what we have and why we've already shared why you should take advantage of this, but I'll say a lot more hopefully with time. So this is Palmvile. It's an agro real estate wealth ecosystem. With this opportunity, you have the opportunity to own the land permanently. It's going to be yours for life. And then you also have the opportunity to earn passive income also for a very, very long time. So permanent land ownership is assured, structured lifetime income for up to 40 years. Now, note that I said earlier that we only kept every projections in this document as conservative as possible, so we don't elevate expectation and then we go below that. And we're very deliberate about this. Very, very deliberate about this. I wish I could tell you a lot more that this will do for you and your household if you plug into it. Now, who is Palmvile specifically for? Palmvile is ideal for individuals, families, and organizations who are seeking secure land, steady long-term income, retirement stability, and a lasting legacy through professionally managed agro real estate. Now, our area of expertise as an organization is real estate. By the way, my name is Oladipupo Clement, and I'm currently the CEO of Lifepage. There's always the assumption that everybody will know you, but it's important I mention that. And our area of specialization is really in real estate. We are very passionate about seeing people create and retain their wealth. For us, real estate is not an end, it's just a means to an end. And every business is a real estate business. Show me any business that is not a real estate business. They don't exist, right? Every business is a real estate business, whether aviation, whether transportation, whether agriculture, whether hospitality, whether, medical health care, whether transportation, whether tech, cloud computing, right? Every business is a real estate business. October last year, Mr. Okba and I released this book called Beyond Land and Houses, and it's a bestseller already, and it's a material that will inform you to make, will educate you to make informed decisions when it comes to everything real estate. If wealth, impact, legacy matters to you, then you need to get a copy of this book. We wrote about the future of real estate in this book. The book is superb. It's 27 chapters, and every page is a gem. We've already started getting feedbacks, and it's just out of this world. The first tranche of the material was delivered to Nigeria, and we've already started shipment. So for those of you who already pre-ordered the book, I'm sure some of you should already begin to you should have received your copies by now. And if you have not, you should be receiving it anytime soon. Most people have started receiving it in Europe and North America. Now, I needed to say something, and that was why I derailed in that direction. But let me say this is very important. One of the key reasons, and there are three major reasons why people buy land, generally speaking, given our years of experience. The first reason people buy land is they buy land with the intention to build, right? For obvious reasons, nobody builds in the sky. Nobody builds on water. Even if you have to build on water, you still need some degree of reinforcement and all of that. So primarily, the reason people buy land is to build, right? Number two, people buy land with the intention to keep as a store of value, to hedge against inflation and currency devaluation. You would agree with me that the things your 1,000 naira could buy 5 years ago is not the same thing that 1,000 naira can buy today. And it's a pointer to the fact that your 1,000 naira today will be more valuable than your 1,000 naira tomorrow. The only way, therefore, to protect the value of that naira or dollar or whatever currency you trade in is to hedge it in an asset class like piece of real estate and piece of land. The third reason for which people buy land is to resell later in the future, either for the purpose of funding future projects and all of that. So whether it's college education of children, or whether it's even your retirement plan, whether it's even a business, whatever the project may be, that is one of the key reasons for which people buy land. Now, if your objective is to buy to build, this oil palm plantation is not the one for you. But if your objective is to buy to keep, buy to resell later, this is your best bet. And I tell you this, I lie not. We've come too far, and then we are still going too far. We're still going so far. This is one of the best kept secrets in our organization after operating for almost 14 years. Like Mr. Okpe said, there's several other cash crops we're already contemplating going into. Cashew was one of them. Cocoa was actually one of them. But when we looked at the risks were enormous. So this particular uh, cash and industrial crop called palm plantation has the least amount of risk. Now, it doesn't, we're not saying it does not have risk. There is no such thing as risk-free investments. There's no such thing as risk-free life. There's no such thing as risk-free business. There are only low risk, moderately risky, aggressively risky investments. So, and this has the least in terms of the risk exposure that similar crops, um, may be exposed to. Okay. So if your objective is to buy to build, then this is not for you. We have other locations where you can buy and you can start to build. We have other places, if you're thinking of just a place, part of the things that made this very exciting to us is because over the last almost 14 years, we have had people who have bought land for land banking purposes, 5, 10, 15, 12, 13 years, of our existence as a company. And the value of the property has increased, no doubt, right? Some have 10x, some have 5x, some have, 15x, but they are not necessarily generating cash flow. So this is one that you can buy. It will continue to appreciate in value, but also will continue to produce income for you. Once it starts to fruit and we mill, produce, and distribute and sell, okay? The location of this particular project is Obafemi Wode in Ogun State. In order to make sure that, we say it all the time, nobody is too poor to be rich. No one is too poor to be broke. Nobody is too poor to invest, especially in opportunities like this. And that's why we are bringing this up. Just yesterday night, a newfound friend, just who I shared this opportunity with, I bought a couple of property. The person is based outside Nigeria, and the person has done lots of investment, but in his hometown, and has been really concerned that the place is not, that there was a particular location where he acquired a parcel of land, and he had built that there was going to be a proposed college that the government was going to build, but they have stopped that construction right now. And I was building hostels in preparation for that. As a result, his cash is trapped, right? And he has bought several other properties, and he shared with me how much that he feels that, some of these land, acquisitions are highly liquid. Yes, one of the biggest risks you run when it comes to real estate in general, especially if it is a developing or undeveloped area, right, is the illiquidity or liquidity risk. That's the biggest risk. But with a project of this nature, the liquidity risk is highly minimized because the land is being fully optimized with the use of oil palm plantation of this size. I can go on and on. I've had so many one-on-one sessions with families, high net worth individuals on a global scale on this particular project, and the excitement is so high, and people are even reconfirming and reaffirming, one of the major reasons why they believe a lot in what we are talking about. And people are queuing up, for this. Let me quickly also mention that this opportunity will not be here for so long. This exclusive private offer terminates April 30th. And from the first, now the reality is that if by the time this starts to fruit and start to produce, it can never be the same anymore. So it's not going to get cheaper over time. It's going to only get more expensive with time. So, and it's just that this is why we are extending this only to our existing customers. So we've packaged this in one plot, which is 500 square meters, 1 acre, which is 6 plots, 1 hectare, which is 15 plots. Now, let me tell you from the depth of my heart, if you really, really, really want to build long-term wealth, right, by all means, don't joke with your current source of active income. If you must do anything at all, build businesses, grow whatever it is you want to grow, make sure that there's consistent income coming in. Because one of the reasons why people, I'm sorry if I'm digressing, but one of the major reasons why people often have to, have to sell their properties as distress sales is because they don't have any cash flow streams. A large percentage of people. All right. This is the reason. Okay. So to minimize that risk of having to sell off your property at a ridiculous amount, that same gentleman was telling me of someone who sold 4 plots. He said each of those plots were selling maybe for 4 million, for 5 million. He said, but he bought them for 1 million each because the person needed money urgently. We've seen that play out many times. But the only reason why somebody will do that is because what they would need to survive has been trapped in a long-term asset. Are you following what I'm talking about? So the only way to ensure that, so you want to commit, what you want to commit into a project like this must be a long-term fund, and it must be focused on the future. Are you following me at all? That means that you must salvage, you must protect what is bringing in money now. What you are doing, on a day-to-day basis. And I said that, this on as an offshoot of some of my conversations with people. I hope that helped. Yeah, so whether you want to buy 1 plot, 1 acre, 1 hectare, I want to recommend, by all means legitimate. Don't joke. If what you can do is 1 plot right now, please do. You want to look back. And then if you could do more and you do 1 plot, you will look back and wish you did more. And I've seen this play out again and again. All right. This is the pricing structure. So at this moment, between now and April 30th, a plot of land in this particular oil palm plantation is going for 900,000 naira outright. And 6 plots goes for 4.5 million naira. 15 plots goes for 11 million naira. Now, if you run the numbers, you know that when you buy more, you save a lot more, right? So in essence, what you are paying for 6 plots actually under this arrangement is actually what you would have paid for 5 plots if you were to buy it in plots. And then if you calculate this, you realize that you actually save a lot more. You actually save like 2.5 million, right? When you go for the 15 plots. So you can buy 2 hectares, 10 hectares, 5 hectares, and so on and so forth. You can also come together. Now, for those of us who have the access to financial resources, maybe you work in an organization, you can borrow money at interest free, and then use it to buy this, and you know that something is going to be paying it. You can deduct it over the next 2 years. That is how to begin to think about this. Because listen, if you work as a salary earner, that job is not a permanent job, because like I often say, even a permanent secretary does not have a permanent job. They also retire too. So a plot will be at pre-launch from 1st of May, it will be selling for 1.2 million naira minimum. Now, the implication of what I said is that it could be higher than that by that time, because the input in this oil palm plantation is also the prices are not stable, right? So we ourselves are very conscious of how many we can sell at this particular phase. So I want to encourage everyone to quickly do everything you can to plug in, lock it down, right? If you're on this call anyway, you are an existing customer, you've done business with us, or someone that has done business with us invited you here. I want to encourage you to do that, right? By pre-launch, it will be selling, 6 plots will be selling for 6 million. 15 plots will be selling for 15 million, and so on and so forth. Now, this is just outright price. Because of our time, and so that we can entertain as many questions as possible, I will leave it there. So you can screen grab this. You can also request for these slides, make it available to you. So we have the outright price, the outright payments. We have the 3-month payment plan. We have the 6-month payment plan. Please note, if you are an existing partner, or you become a registered partner during this season, you have a unique opportunity, to pay the outright amount over a 12-month period. So please reach out to whoever invited you, or reach out to the numbers we read out earlier. We'll still read out those numbers later on. Now, palm oil yield. Now, this is just to give you a sense of what this particular project would offer you. The palm yield, a plot has a capacity, a holding capacity of 8 to 10 trees. 6 plot has 48 to 60 trees holding capacity, and 15 plot has a holding capacity of 120 to 150 trees. But mind you, each tree has the oil palm production per annum from one tree every single year is 25 liters. So if you multiply that by the number of trees that your single plot or single acre or hectare will accommodate, then what you see here is 200 liters on the low side. A single year, 200 liters of palm oil. Note my word, it is palm oil we're calculating here, not other byproduct. Emphasis on all our projections is premised and based solely on palm oil, even though there are several other byproducts. We are not planning and projecting based on other things. We are planning and projecting based on palm oil alone, largely because that's what is in the highest demand. That's the one that has the global and the local appeal, right? So there's no point trying to be setting expectations on other byproducts. Whatever then comes from other byproducts will still go around. So on the low side, 200 liters of palm oil is what is expected. You can run the numbers, how much a liter of palm oil sells for today in retail market and wholesale market, right? I was still on a call on Wednesday nights, when my host who hosted the program was giving me a report of how much they were selling palm oil straight from the market in Ado Ekiti or maybe Ondo State, so 200 liters, I don't want to give any, but if you want to be very modest, if you use 2,000 naira, right, it gives you an idea how much revenue is being generated. And the fact that the demand continues to rise globally is also part of the reason why you can rest knowing fully well that it's not going to get cheaper. So 250 liters on the high side. Now, just to give us a range, so there could be seasons where it will be it will be low. There will be seasons where it could be very high. And that's why we have to give those range. The same thing goes for this. So 1,200 liters on the low end, and then 1,500 liters on the high end. Now, you don't have, other than the fact that you are sending your money on assignment, other than the fact that your money is just the one doing the work. The land is yours, right? But the use of the land is being handled entirely by we and our management and the operational team. So the same thing goes for the 15 plus, 3,000 liters on the low end, 3,750 liters on the high end, right? If you value real estate, please don't joke with this even more, right? Because it's like a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. If you decide, you can inquire how much does a palm farm or an oil palm plantation that already has its trees fruiting, how much does it go for per hectare, per plot, per, and then you will have an idea that this is really ridiculous. Now, what does your payment cover? Now, if you are buying at 900,000 naira for a plot, the land value actually is 1.5 million naira as of this moment. But you are getting it at 900,000 because it's a private placement offer and you are paying outright. If you are buying 6 plots, it's actually 7.5 million naira in value. If you are buying 15 plots, actually 18 million, right? Now, this payment also covers, so it covers the land, it covers deed of assignment and register survey. So you are not paying for anything else afterward. So everything you are paying is all inclusive. So always remember that it's all inclusive. It also covers discount voucher. The discount voucher in this case is not discount on this particular project. It is discount on your next purchase. So if, for example, you buy 6 plots. You are eligible for that only if you buy 6 plots or more. So you are eligible for a discount on your next purchase if you get 500,000. So if you are buying 1 acre, 1 acre is 4.5 million naira. If you are going to buy another acre, instead of paying 4.5 million naira, you pay less 500,000 naira. That's what the discount voucher affords you. And if you are buying 1 hectare, it affords you discount voucher of 1.25 million naira on your next purchase. So this is enormous value packaged together for you. Then, of course, one other main advantage, and this is part of the value that we have put together. And this, I mean, we what we've done is to make sure that you have no reason whatsoever to even not take advantage, right? I cannot tell you right now that this particular value stack will also be available when we do the pre-launch. I can't guarantee you on that one, right? But we believe that the best set of people we should extend this to, first and foremost, should be our existing customers. And that's pretty much, and of course, our partners. That's why you are seeing this. So Free Plus is also one of it. One of the projects, the outflow of this project is the Palmvile Resort. It's going to be a countryside resort, vacation resort. And anyone who is buying from 6 plots or more will be eligible for free plot of land. You can see all of those details there. Architectural drawing. Now, if you are getting a free plot in any of those in the Palmville Resort, then it is a land that you can build. It is for that reason why we also package architectural drawing, the packaged bill of quantity as what you get in addition. So somebody may be wondering, so what do I need architectural drawing for if I'm buying oil palm plantation? What do I need a bill of quantity? It's not because of the oil palm plantation. It is because of the free plots that you can build upon in the Palmville Resort that you are getting it. Access to agro real estate community, and this is priceless. Then expert supervision and management. Now this is so important because it takes an oil palm or a palm tree to begin to fruit within 4 to 5 years. It takes between 4 to 5 years before the palm tree begins to fruit. It is for this reason, right, that we have covered. So what you are paying for covers the entire management for that first 5 years. So because we start sharing, the palm tree begin to fruit, and then we start selling from year 6, and that's when we start sharing as well. So the payment you are making does not only cover for land, it also covers for all of these things, including the management for the first 5 years. So we are never going to have to come and ask you for extra money because what you are paying for covers everything. Now, mind you, part of the things we're building in all of this is also the milling factory. It's industrial. It's going to be an industrial scale, right? Then project insurance, which is also to provide security against certain risks we don't entirely control. What is the yield sharing structure? Our time is really fast spent. 60% net profit goes to the landowner, 40% net profit goes to Lifepage and a management company for operations and sustainability. So this is all the details, and we've got lots and lots of frequently asked questions. Since you all are here, there's no need for us to go through this. Just the only thing I would mention here is, in order to subscribe, before we take all the questions, in order to subscribe, all you need to do is to select your preferred land size, either 1 plot, 1 acre, 1 hectare or more, right? Then choose your payment plan and then complete the subscription form, make payments. Now, please note, for those of you who are existing customers of Lifepage, you know Lifepage Property and Investments Limited. But this particular project is an entirely different entity. It's an agro real estate enterprise. So it's Lifepage Agro Real Estate, and this is the account details. So make sure you fill the form and then, and then do your down payments or make your outright payment, as the case may be. I want to thank you for your listening attention. Over to you, Mr. Clement.
Okay, thank you very much, OC. Thank you very much. for that. So please, in case you have any question, just drop the question in the chat room so that we can take your questions. Okay, I think there's a question here. Okay, somebody, Mr. Patrick asked, what's the cost? That has been answered. Mr. Patrick also asked, where is the location? Okay, maybe OC should talk about the cost and location again.
All right, so
for slides, okay, the slide has been sent. So in case you need, instead of dropping your email address in the chat room, please don't do that. Just chat any of the numbers that has been dropped. Chat those numbers privately.
09060005737. So just send, I need the slides. So, and then this is also being streamed live. We'll make that available to you for reference, okay? Yeah, so the price, so we have it in 1 plot, 6 plots, and 15 plots. You can buy multiples of these depending on your objective, depending on the resource available, depending on how much time you have, depending on the number, and depending on how much risk also you can stomach, and a host of other things, right? Yeah, so it is 4.5 million naira for six plots. It's 900,000 naira. For 1 plot, it is 11 million naira for 15 plots if you are paying outright. Yeah, and it is located in Obafemi Owode.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Shegun is asking, I did not get the offer he gave for 12 months as outright payments.
Okay, so if you are an existing partner, now who are partners of Lifepage? Partners of Lifepage are customers. You know, in our business, it's just so interesting that our customers end up becoming our partners, and our partners most times also end up becoming our customers. So partners are essentially those who refer business to us. You know, let me say this. Many of us here have used certain services, and maybe you engage the service of a fashion designer or tailor or hairstylist or carpenter or, you know, or furniture maker, whatever. And people see the service that you enjoy and they say, I will do this for you. You refer them. Many of us have referred people. I still do that till tomorrow, but never necessarily have I gotten anything as a result. So people who, you know, do that are doing that because they've also enjoyed the value. Most of our partners are people who have used the same thing. So it is part of the reasons why, when you are a partner, you have the opportunity of buying at the outright price and spread the payment for 12 months. So what does that mean? So if you are buying 11 million naira, for example, you are buying 1 hectare, which is 15 plots at 11 million, all you need to deposit is 2.2 million naira. You deposit 2.2 million naira, and then you spread the remaining balance over 11 months. Do you understand that? So if you pay 2.2 million naira to lock down the offer, then you have 11 months of spreading the remaining balance at equal installments. So that's pretty much how that works. So if you are an existing partner or you are an existing customer, but you are not yet a partner, this is also an opportunity for you to take advantage of. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, OC.
And now let me say this. Now what that also does for you is that if you were initially planning to buy 1 acre, because that's what you know you will be able to pay up within 6 months, it doesn't mean you'd stop earning income. Nothing says you can't double what you would have bought before, now that you have a longer flexible payment option. So that's pretty much part of the advantage of this. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So Mr. Caleb is asking, thank you for this privilege. I am interested. I don't have the cash right now because I have a major project at hand, but would love to key into this offer. How can that be done? I would love to start with 1 plot.
So I think with 1 plot, I'm not sure there's any project you want to do that you will not be able to do 1 plot. So reach out to whoever invited you, or reach out to our office. Yes, our office is located at 21 Alake Onilere Crescent, Bagada Phase 2, Lagos, Nigeria. And then you can send your inquiries, you can call, you can chat this number 090 6000 5737, 090 6000 5747. Please, I recommend chat because it's already weekend and it's already night. We would only be available to be picking calls from Monday. So please, you can drop chats. You can actually call also, but just 090 6000 5737, 090 6000 5747. So, Mr. Caleb, the numbers are there in the chat box. All right. I think we have done a good job. Any other question? Can existing customer enjoy extended payment period? Yes, you can if you register now as a partner. So yes, if you register now as a partner, you can extend that period even beyond 6 months if you register as a partner. It's an internal arrangement that's available for only existing partners. Where is the farm? It's in Obafemi Owode. How much as a partner? Okay, so we have the free option and we have the paid option. The free option is just for you to become a company advocate, which is just basically, you know. So please, it would be nice if you can share those details. You know, just reach out to the numbers and they will show you, they will guide you on how you can become a partner. So you can become a referral partner or sales partner, active or passive, whichever one fits your schedule, right? Yeah. But either way, you will be able to buy over that extended period once you're a registered partner. And one of the things that will seal it even further is you referring other people like yourself, to the project. It's something that people will thank you for. And it's something that even you will be grateful that you took advantage of. I am too certain about that. Someone reached out to me, we met recently. The person said, we've known before. I knew the guy. And then recently he said to me, he said, see, I want you to force me to succeed. I want you to force me to succeed. I said, now that I have, you said what?
I love that.
And he said, now that I have access to you, now that, okay, no, I said that now that you have given me permission to force you, I will force you. You can be sure I will force you. So, yeah.
Okay, I think the location we've answered that. There's one question here. So for the person that is asking about what does it take, it's not just about money to be partner. There are criteria and
Yeah.
steps to follow. So please chat those numbers up. Okay.
Try those numbers will make that available.
Uh, okay, for Lashade, this is going to be the last question. So because of time, buying one plot, can one still get access to the resort later?
No. When you buy one plot, you only be able to get, yeah, of course, when we launch the resorts, we will open it up. But the people who are buying 6 plots, 1 hectare and more, are the people who will be getting free plots in that particular place. But we're not building on the palm plantation. It's in the resort that you can build. So those who buy in the palm plantation and buy up to that number are the ones who will get the opportunity to get allocated in the resort. There was a question that someone asked here. It means Lifepage do the farming, maintenance, and everything. The appropriate answer is that I already answered it earlier, but let me just re-emphasize that we are experts in real estate. What we have done is also collaborate with experts in oil palm plantation. So that collaboration is what delivers this measure of value to you. And that's why when we share the yield, you get 60% net profit, 40% comes to both us and our partner, the oil palm expert. It's a plug and play system. They've proven it again and again and again and again and again and again, and it's just replicating the same thing. And so we do not want to be doing experimentation. We can't come and be doing experiments with what belongs to people. So that's part of the reason why we have gone for this level of collaboration with people who have delivered with a firm, who have track record in that regard. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's all for now. Thank
All
you
right.
very
So,
much. Thank you.
yeah, I want to thank everyone for your attention. Please feel free to reach out to us and we'll be glad to supply you any additional information you need. Thank you very much and do have a splendid weekend. Bye for now.